I told them to put it on the glass.
I don't let anybody belly button me. You gotta tell me where you live.
They said he got like a circle of warts around his dick.
Isn't that where you huff your poop in a paper bag?
Welcome to Mystery Theories, the show that explores all manners of the mysterious, from the whimsical to the downright problematic. I'm West, and tonight with my co-host CJ, we'll be exploring the evidence and theories surrounding the Betty and Barney Hill abduction. In the end, you'll have the chance to cast your vote and determine which is the most convincing mystery theory. CJ, are you familiar with the Betty and Barney Hill abductions?
Can't say that I am, West.
Do you have any idea what it is?
I'm assuming it's alien abduction.
You think they're aliens?
Yeah. I think, they're illegals.
Betty and Barney Hill are basically, they're like the Adam and Eve of alien abduction stories. They were the first of their time to report a story like this in a time where like alien abductions and even like aliens and saucers and stuff like that weren't really a thing. Betty Hill was a social worker, like community organizer, nice lady, did a lot in like civil rights, anti-segregation. Barney Hill, World War II veteran, worked for the post office. Two pretty upstanding people. Like
there's a lot of red flags you just threw there. Post office conspiracy. Come on, bud. They're part of the Illuminati, West. Let's figure this out right now.
I mean, someone's got to be responsible for all those Amazon packages I never received.
Yeah, those got abducted real fast.
I think George Soros is paying the DHL to like not deliver my 13th fleshlight because after a dozen you get the next one for free.
Yeah, that's the baker's dozen rule.
September 19th, 1961. So the Hills go out for their honeymoon, right? They're driving back from Niagara Falls from their honeymoon. And they're driving through, they're heading back home to New Hampshire. And Betty can see these like lights, and it's moving in a weird kind of a way. So she's looking at that and she goes, I think that might be a fucking flying saucer. So they pull over some scenic overpass or whatever, and they get out and they're taking a look at it. And Betty's like convinced that it's an alien saucer of some kind. And Barney's like, no, I think it's like a plane. But then, so he's looking at it and he sees it like move in a weird way. Like it descends way faster than any plane could. So he's like, oh, that's actually kind of fucking weird. So they go, okay, let's get out of here. And they get back in the car and they keep continuing back on to New Hampshire. Then they head down the road about a mile south of Indian Head, New Hampshire. They got like buzzed by a saucer, like did a low pass, stopped right in front of them. They pull over, they get out of the car. Barney grabs his gun and then approaches the space saucer, which is a hilarious sentence. And I guess he says he sees like windows in the spacecraft and he can see like little men inside of it.
That's bullshit. Like fucking bay windows? Do you think interstellar travelers would be like, yo, I want to see what we're traveling to?
You know what's funny is I've really looked into this. I never once thought about like the structural insanity of having like glass windows in a saucer. Like there's no way that would be possible. Dude, try driving a Jeep Wrangler for a year without getting a crack in the windshield. Like how are you gonna fucking fly an alien saucer? Do aliens have safe flight? So he gets out, he looks at the aliens, he's like, and then he has kind of like a vague memory of him and his wife getting in the car and continuing back home. They just kind of like blank out for a bit, and they kind of come back in like a fugue state, almost back home in New Hampshire. They get home like 2 to 3 hours later than they were expecting. They both feel very strange. Betty has this like weird insistence on like keeping her luggage away from the door. Both of their watches stop functioning. Barney had a leather strap on his binoculars and that was torn. His dress shoes were all scuffed up. They also found some weird spots on the back of the car, like weird like glossed spots scattered across the back of their car. And it said Barney felt compelled to examine his genitals. I read a lot about this case, and they always made a point to mention that Barney felt it was really important for Barney to check out his junk first thing when he got home. Well, if you had an alien encounter, you want to check. It's so funny thinking of his wife like shivering on the bed, thinking she just got like ravaged by an alien, and then Barney's like in the bathroom looking at his dick in the mirror, like, check this shit out.
Is this good? Why is it glowing?
You want to see a UFO? And I guess later on he broke out in warts. They said he got like a circle of warts around his dick. But dude, like alien encounters, that's like the get out of jail free card for infidelity. Because as soon as shit goes down with aliens, if you get any kind of STD, you can be like, it was probably the aliens.
It was the aliens. It wasn't that Taiwanese.
Wasn't that Thai ladyboy that we have staying with us? Hey, what STD does your sister have again? Oh, gonorrhea. Yeah, I think the aliens are going to give me that in a few weeks. So needless to say, they feel kind of weird about this. Betty's having like really strange dreams. Barney's acting all kind of weird. Like they both feel like something definitely happened. There's that 2 to 3 hour period of time that they lost. They feel like something happened there. So they enlisted the help of a hypnotist by the name of Dr. Benjamin Simon. So this guy goes and puts them both under hypnosis, and that's where like this alien abduction story comes out. So Betty just lets the fucking lid off, and she is recalling the story about like the car like stalled out, and then these groups of aliens came down and they approached the car. They put Barney in like a sleepwalking like fugue state. The aliens bring her on the shift. She's like fighting the whole way. She's like kicking and screaming, nah, I'm not gonna go. They bring her on the shift. They tell her, listen, you're gonna be fine. We're just gonna run some tests on you, and then we're gonna let you go. We're not gonna hurt you, so like quit fucking freaking out.
Your husband's already got herpes.
Yeah. He's like, well, I want to be very clear, Barney had dick warts when he got here, so don't come fucking putting that shit on us, okay?
And it turns out it was Barney's best friends. They dressed up as aliens and used chloroform to bring him in so they could do an elaborate excuse about why he's got herpes. It's like, yo, we got you, bro.
Just wearing gray outfits. We're aliens with gonorrhea, and we're touching your husband's genitals.
And the examiner has a long needle, and he said he just wants to put it in my navel. I tell him, no, it will hurt, don't do it. And he said, no, it won't hurt. And he sticks a needle into my navel. And I'm crying, and I tell him it's hurting, take it out. And then the leader, he goes over and he puts his hand, runs his hand in front of my eyes, and all the pain goes away.
Dude, he Simba'd her.
You did a Simba, yeah. Like, you know when you go fishing and you think like, hey, when you put the hooks through the lips, does that hurt the fish?
Oh,
and like, no, that doesn't hurt the fish. Like the alien was like, when you put the needle in the navel, does that hurt them? And like, no, it doesn't hurt them. And they stick it in, and she's like, the alien's like, oh shit.
One person looks friendly. He's friendly looking, and he's looking at me.
Looking through this window, or you said there was a row of windows?
It was a row of windows.
Right now he's talking about when he stepped out of the car and like saw the spacecraft up close for the first time.
The spacecraft with the fucking windows.
Yeah.
The Pontiac fucking
I told them to put it on the glass. All right, so these guys, they basically keep themselves for the most part after this experience. They didn't really like go public with this until 1965 when a reporter at the Boston Traveler was mailed a bunch of the recordings. So it's just like it's something to keep in mind that like they didn't go public with this technically. Their story kind of got blown up by a newspaper.
Unless they were the ones that shipped that fucking
Unless they were the ones that shipped the tape, yeah. Yeah, because that kind of puts them in a position where now they can step up and be like, oh, hey, look at us. We're
this happened.
Yeah, we have to emerge in the public because we have to like correct the record. Because that's what they were saying, is that it was like sensationalized, and they had to like step up to correct the record, basically. So fast forward, so Barney Hill passes away actually a few years later. So he passed away in 1969. Damn. Betty outlives him for much, much longer. She like just passed away from lung cancer in 2004.
God damn.
Well, CJ, it looks like we're at the part of the show now where we go over the theories. All right, theory 1, it's a hoax. Is this gonna work?
Did they make a video? Your browser can't play this video.
So this TV show came out shortly before their incident.
It's still black.
Are you serious? So do you see what I'm sharing on screen right now?
Yeah.
So the left is so one is the alien from the Outer Limits, but
From the
also
show.
the right is a sketch that Barney did of the alien. So the notable thing is those wraparound eyes.
The wraparound eyes, and then the skull in the front, right up in the top half. You actually see where he's kind of going down. He didn't draw a face with it. He threw 2 nostrils in it.
Well, what's weird is he described them as having clothes. He described them having like wearing like a latex suit and like a cap. He said they're basically like decked out like fucking dripped out Malaysian kids. Theory number 2, delusion.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, in terms of like evidence for this, there's really nothing leading anyone to think that they were like delusional. It's worth noting that they had some like nitrite fertilizer in their trunk, which the fumes of that can make you go a little wacky. But I mean, really nothing serious.
They are literally, they're janking or jankum, right? Isn't that where you huff your poop in a fucking paper bag?
Yeah, they were janking, they were jelking.
That's what hobos do. They shit in bags and then they fucking huff their shit.
Yeah, I don't think they were doing that though, CJ. Theory number 3, misidentification. So what you're looking at right now is a airway beacon, and there is one of those located on Mount Canyon, which is where that's where they reported to have seen the shuttle. So this one, the bottom rungs are ground lit, but I don't know if they would have done that in the 60s. There was one of these on that mountain at that time, and if it wasn't ground lit and you just saw that top part floating up
It'd look like
above the trees, I think that looked
100%.
like a fucking UFO for sure.
100%. Reading into this, the coworker convinced her that there might be like real repressed memories, because if you believe what you see, right, even if it's not the correct thing, but you perceive that, of course, if they get hypnotized, they're gonna be like, yeah, it was an alien, because they fucking believed so hard into this that it became a part of them.
But CJ, let me propose an alternate theory that it all actually happens.
All right, let's go with it. Let's hear this.
So now keep in mind that the Hills have profound memories of unusual things happening the morning after the incident, before they went to bed, right? So there are memories of alien encounters and stuff that they had before Betty's dreams. Also, what accounts for the loss of time? So they did lose 2 to 3 hours there, and that's kind of hard to explain. But look at this. So this is another thing. Towards the end of their conversation, she's like, where are you guys from? And he pulls out this map. So she sees the map and she goes, okay, where's your son on the map? And he goes, well, do you know where your son is on the map? And she goes, well, no. And he goes, well, then there's no point. Like, what difference does it make? You have it doesn't matter. And then this is her drawing of it, I think, after a hypnosis session. So it's called like a star map. So you have to think of like stars. If you think of like stars floating in 3-dimensional space, this is like a 2D image of a 3D map. So it's like the perspective matters, and if you don't know like where you are on the map, it's kind of hard you can't like orient anything else. So anyways, she drew this, and years later a school teacher plotted out her own 3D map. So she actually like hung ping pong balls from her ceiling, and like for like the sun and then all nearby stars, and she plotted out all the distance and stuff, so it was like accurate in 3D space, and then was like looking for the right angle that matched up with the Hills star map, but she couldn't find anything. And then in the new issue of like whatever, like Weekly Astronomer magazine, they discovered 2 new stars, and when she added those stars to the ceiling, she was able to get an exact matchup of her stars and the Hills star map. If you look at it that way, so you assume that this one's the sun, that would make these 2 big ones down here that share all these lines the Zeta Reticuli system, which is a binary star system. So it's a star system with 2 stars in it that rotate around each other.
So I will tell you, this is insane. This is like, yo, like, what the fuck? So here's my issue with it. Why is she having a fucking conversation about a map with them? Like, what
She's interested. She wants to go back.
She's like, I want to know where you're from. I don't let anybody belly button fuck me. You got to tell me where you live.
You got to let me sign your guest book at least. Like, this is fucked up. So CJ,
yes,
4 theories: hoax, delusion, misidentification, or did it really happen?
This is like choose your own adventure. I don't know, a little bit of column.
Yeah, which avenue of autism do you want to go down?
Like, to me, each thing has one piece that could make it go that route, right? Hoax, want to get famous. Delusion, they were huffing shit all day. Misidentification, there's a tower right there. Reality, the star map, that is like the only thing like I can't explain, but I'm gonna have to go with misidentification.
Ooh. All right, we're in agreement then. Guys, we're going to label this mystery theorize. We got to have some sort of like closing tag. I just don't know what it's going to be.
So give them your theory of what you think it is.
I think it's misidentified. I think something happened that night. I think their account of the UFO sighting is genuine, but it may have been a misidentification. I think Betty's like a very strong-willed person. Barney's like a little bit more introvertive. I think he can be like easily influenced, and I think she just wanted this thing to be a reality so badly that her personality kind of overpowered Barney, and his way to cope with that was to be like, well, I was basically sleepwalking. I was in a fugue state the whole time. But I agree with what she said.
Well, that's a good theory.
But that's just a theory, a mystery theory.
Boo, boo, boo. The one thing that gets me about this is like, if let's say she has some sort of mental illness and stuff, like that's super sad. I don't know, part of me kind of wishes that she did get abducted, so then it isn't because she just had some sort of like breakdown, you know?
Yeah.
Mental health is a thing, and
mental health
you gotta take care of yourself. Yeah,
if you're seeing a little green alien on your way home from Niagara Falls, that's a good sign. You might want to take some comp time on that. If you're blaming your genital warts on
I was trying to have a serious moment, and then it goes right back to those.
Well, all right, sorry. Yeah, it's
nope. We're done now. How did he get the genital warts? That's what I want to know.
Is he gay for gray, or is he gray for pay? Tell us in the comment section.
Gray for pay.